missing the target from there, you want bloody shooting. Oh, it's crap. Oh, it's bloody rubbish. It's rubbish.
But how do you react though when someone, you know, from your playing staff comes in and says, "Boss, I think you're doing this wrongly"?
Good. Well, I ask him which way he thinks it should be done. We get down to it, and then we talk about it for 20 minutes, and then we decide I was right.
Action, take 3. Got some outtakes, man. Got some outtakes. Well, I hadn't, because I deleted them. But, you know, there was a few times I kept saying completely the wrong thing, which I probably will again. And I'll probably end up starting this one again. But you know what? It is what it is. You know how it works in the cave. We just talk. And, you know, a lot of it don't make any sense. But whatever, you know. There's no rule, there's no law that says it has to make sense. But anyway, this is about the great man himself, Brian Clough, OBE, who on this day in 2004, we sadly lost him at 69 years old. And I just want to, you know, sort of say a few things about, you know, the total respect I have for that guy, the things he did for our club and others. I'm not going to mention the others because we all know who it is. But, yeah, the total respect he deserves. I mean, from just being a player, I mean, he set records. He was always on to being a winner. There was no doubt about that. I mean, 251 league goals in 274 matches for Middlesbrough. I mean, that is just unheard of, and still league's highest goal scorer. I mean, that kind of mentality is just unheard of, and then unfortunately gets taken out by a knee injury, which was, you know, his career over. He then obviously went into management. Believe his first job was R.I.P with Peter Taylor. You always need Peter Taylor as well, but this is more about Brian Clough. But it was the two of them together, which was what really made it all tick and what it really made it all work. So anyway, so it goes to R.I.P, and he does a really good job at R.I.P, to be honest, and basically ends up getting a move to them up the A52. Yeah, he gets a move to them, and basically does really well, to be honest. I mean, the only thing I think that really messed it up at the end of the day was the fact that he started to become sort of a TV celebrity as well, because the man had that kind of charisma. He just said what he thought, and it was like so, you know, so refreshing to most people, which I find really strange, because if everyone said what they thought, there'd be less sort of con artists and shit around in the world, and people talking shit and trying to be something and that they're actually not. You know, if everybody sort of kept it real and spoke the truth, then I think we'd all be living in a better world right now, instead of being pansies and hiding behind, you know, certain things. Oh, we can't say that. Oh, we can't say that. You know what? I model myself on Clough, so I'm just going to say right now, say what I like. Fuck you. So that's that one sorted out. Right, okay, so basically, yeah, so he ended up at Derby, did really well at Derby, kept getting him promoted in the league, and also got him into Europe, I believe, semi-finals. But then because of the, I think it was a lot of jealousy with the Derby chairman, because Clough was really becoming a big celebrity, and I think they fell out on it was certain other things, and I know they fell out. I've watched videos, I've read autobiographies and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they fell out. They absolutely fell out at one point, which was great news for us, Nottingham Forest. I mean, because we got what they left, what they decided, wasn't for their club. That's their mistake at the end of the day, and so we end up being blessed by having the great Brian Clough and Peter Taylor as our managers, which becomes, something amazing. His arguments and stuff with Don Revie are absolutely legendary. The way he used to carry himself, I mean, man, the players used to talk about running through walls for him. You tell me many players that are around now that would run through a wall for a manager, or even say it, or even talk about a manager in that esteem. They want the manager to run through a wall for them because they're just like namby-pamby fucking looked after fucking millionaires, who basically, when football's going great, their lives are going brilliant and all this, that and the other. There's nothing wrong with their lives, but as soon as they start to play wank and their career starts going downhill, let's jump out with a story about my past, and let's jump out with a story about, I'm depressed and all this, that and the other. Yeah, you was alright when things are going well though, weren't you? Do you not think that people need to hear this kind of stuff when things are going well? Because, we all know we can be depressed when things aren't going well. We need to know that it is actually a thing that happens when things are going well as well. Or did you forget about it? I mean, I don't know. That's by the by, innit, really? I mean, whatever. But, see, this is why I say that I'm moulded on Clough, because I just say it the way I want to say it, and that's it. And there'll be a lot of people don't agree with me, which is fine. It's called opinions. I have mine, you have yours. Yeah, I just find it that when you're doing well in your life and everything's going great, and you're not coming out and saying, I don't know how this is going well because I feel like this and I feel like that. Why people only jump out when the chips are down? Yeah, that bit to me just doesn't make any sense, to be honest. But anyway, on to let's keep it on Brian Clough. Although that was a bit of a Brian Clough rant. But anyway, so I mean, there was so many things to like about him. I mean, that video where he said, like, I've got quite a lot of money, a few bob, I think he called it. I've got a few bob and a nice car and a nice house, and I think everyone should have that. But there's a lot of people out there with a few bob and a nice house and a car that don't think everybody should have that. And it was comments like that really sort of endeared me to him, because he's just an absolute legend. There was no, I mean, if he was around now, I mean, it'd be hilarious. Honestly, it'd be absolutely hilarious. Because he would just be pulling all this apart, 100%. There's no doubt about that. He should have one time become England manager, 100%, but we all know the FA is crooked as fuck. I mean, how they can keep doing players for betting and stuff like that when, they're probably doing far worse, I would imagine. I mean, that VAR system, I mean, that's all lined up for the betting, isn't it? For the to screw everybody over who has a bet and stuff like that. I mean, you might think I'm saying it. I actually do believe that some of these decisions are a bit hooky, and it wouldn't shock me at all if the Premier League don't have a few bets here and there, and say to the refs, hey, make sure that goal goes in at the end, make sure that goal don't count. That's probably what the microphones. That's probably what they're actually for. We think they're for, like, giving instructions to the ref and all that kind of stuff. That's probably not what they are at all. They're probably saying, hey, if you let that goal go, we'll get 100 grand on your pay packet. Yep, well, that referee goes, yay, nice, I can go to fucking Barbados for 3 weeks. Brilliant. Right, anyway, back on to Mr. Clough. The things that he did for us was absolutely amazing. You know, in winning the leagues, you know, just an amazing, charismatic guy who could just basically take a massive player. I mean, I just watched his story. I've seen it before, and it's Mark Crosley talking about Brian Clough, and talking about the way that Brian Clough would just bring a player back down, and basically he said to Cloughie, he said to Pearce, sorry, "Oh, you're going to play for England, then, son? Are you going to play for England, son? What time are you going to be back? When are you going to be back to play for us, then, son?" And basically, Stuart Pearce said, "Oh, I should be Thursday," or something like that. So he goes and plays for England, comes back. They had the dressing room where it got a towel and a ball on the top of it because it's shown the discipline. That's what the players were saying. It was like the discipline that they had, nobody touched it. So anyway, he walks in with, Brian Clough walks in with a carrier bag, puts the carrier bag down, basically knocks the ball off the towel, turns around to Percy and starts like giving him a load of, how did you think you played on for England then, lad? And he's like, "Oh, I thought I did alright." He went, "I thought you were bloody rubbish. Oh, you're bloody rubbish. Missing the target from there, you want bloody shooting." So anyway, he sort of goes on at him, then turns around to the rest of the team and goes, "He was rubbish, wasn't he?" and all this, that and the other. And then he starts talking randomly about this newspaper, and there's an advert in there for Pearce Electricians or something like that. Turns around to the team and goes, your captain is a fraud." You know, and then like takes the iron out and basically says, "If you can't get this, this is my missus's iron and it's not working. If you can't get it fixed, then you're not playing on Saturday." And this is at the point when all the big boys was after Stuart Pearce. So for a manager to do that is just unbelievable. You know, I mean, and let's face it, players nowadays would have gone, "Oh, boo, boo," you know, and jumped on social media and started doing, you know, jumped on Twitter and started going, "Oh, my manager called me a bum, ooh," you know, and all that, because that's what millionaires do, isn't it, when, you know, when somebody upsets them and things like that. But, yeah, so, I mean, basically, then went on, well, I mean, I've gone all round the thing, but I mean, to bring like one European Cup to us, I mean, he made us basically. I mean, there's no getting away from it. He absolutely made us. To get one European Cup and then to get a follow up as well, and to have players that basically just, you know, was pretty much nobodies. A lot of them. There wasn't, you know, and he actually turned them into something, and they become great players. And that was all just by hard work and everything like that. So, you know, I mean, this guy just deserves so much respect, and that's why I wanted to do a video on him, just talking about Brian Clough. The last season was absolutely devastating for any Forest fan to see him to see us get relegated in his final season. Then he just sort of like carried on doing what he was doing, being really charismatic, and, you know, like I say, I met him once, and I think he had a go at Pearce then as well, if I remember right, because he once signed my picture when I was in Broadmoor Centre. So yeah, I mean, but I've got to say, as it said, everywhere you look, you know what, I'm not being funny, guys, but Brian Clough is in the top 1 of managers in this country, and I know some people won't agree with me, but I don't give a shit. He's definitely up there, 100% up there. What he did at the time he did it, the way he dealt with players, the way he dealt with big prima donna players as well. You know, I mean, it just, I mean, what, signed Terry Francis, yeah? First £1 million odd signing. And he walks, and Clough walks in with a tennis racket and starts going, "Oh, you better score me some goals," and all this. I mean, it's just unheard of, man. No, you know, it's just absolutely unheard of. And even the big managers respect him. And I think it's time more teams put respect on the guy's name as well. His name should be mentioned a hell of a lot more than it is when they talk about good managers and things like that. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it there because everything that you need to know about Clough, you can find out. I've told you, so I've just gone into the little parts of it that I was majorly impressed with. I love the guy to bits. Rest in peace to the guy as well. It's a sad loss on this day in 2004, but he's now resting. I mean, even as a man, I mean, he kept his situation to himself. He didn't come out and start telling people, Armil, this, that, and the other. He actually, just took it on himself and just got on with it. That was the kind of guy that this bloke was. I mean, he's just brilliant man, brilliant manager. Absolute brilliant. I don't see any. There will be flaws. There's flaws with everybody, but I mean, I don't know what his flaws was because he told it like it is. If he wanted to say something to you, he would say it. If he didn't like it, he wouldn't give a fuck. Which is exactly the same as the long-haired Yeti in his cave. This is my cave. Say what I want, and that's it. If I'm going to get cancelled or anything's going to happen, then that'll be down to YouTube, not anybody that's in the chat or anything like that. So yeah, big up, guys. Big love to Cloughie on this sad day, and hopefully, Mr. Cooper can do something halfway the same as what Mr. Clough gave us. I'm confident of that, to be honest, although there'll never be another Brian Clough. There'll never be another Brian Clough. But anyway, big love to all of you. Have a great Wednesday. Coming up, I'm going to probably do a review of the game on Monday because I haven't done it yet. I've had a bit more time to think about it, so I need to get that sorted out and get some artwork done as well. Probably put some more Amnesia on for a bit up to the Arsenal game in the Champions League tonight, where Arsenal are trying to get a star to make it 2-1. Hee. Right, okay, so I'll catch you all later. Take it easy, have a good day, be blessed. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, please. And you know what? The Yeti is out because he wants bloody shooting.
Oh, you are a bloody disgrace! Hey, Buzz! For missing the target from there, you want bloody shooting! Oh, it's crap. Oh, it's bloody rubbish! It's rubbish!
But how do you react, though, when someone, from your playing staff comes in and says, boss, I think you're doing this wrongly?
Good. Well, I ask him which way he thinks it should be done. We get down to it, and then we talk about it for 20 minutes, and then we decide I was right.